me just try this out, see how this sounds. This is a test one. Oh, that's solid.
We should just go from there. We should go from there.
Just roll right in?
Just roll with it. Welcome to No Puns Allowed. I'm Paige. That's Kramer. We got a wine pop because it is Thanksgiving week.
Gobble, gobble, bitches. Yeah, I wasn't sure how that would sound. That was a dry run.
Yeah.
And now to seal the deal.
Pour.
Oh, yeah.
You got the clink and everything. I already poured mine.
Oh, sorry. That probably isn't sounding great in people's ear. But drinking, what are you drinking? Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, you're red? Do we have the same wine glass?
We kind of do.
It's close.
I sometimes go stemless, but I do
Me too.
A good bougie stem.
Yeah. So Thanksgiving week, which we will talk about at the end, of course. Thanksgiving and for all it is, which we love. And we will also first talk about our friends at Municipal.
Who I am, in fact, thankful for.
Very thankful. And if y'all need some kick-ass, it's like holiday shopping time. I am woefully behind, by the way. I need to get going.
Yes. And you can get 20% off with No Puns 20.
No Punch 20, holiday shopping, kick-ass gear. We love y'all, Municipal.
Cheers. Cheers to Municipal. I need to drink because it's bad to cheers and not drink.
Oh, that's good.
But
that's real good.
Made holiday gift guides that I posted to my website to help people out because I am, in fact, the best gift giver of all time.
Wow.
Trust me. And I think I'm going to make a little Municipal one of the things that you should get on Municipal, and I'll post that. So
that's a good idea. You got to lean into. You think your gift giving is like what is it? Like just the person? Because the art of a good gift is not money.
No, not at all. It is how well, and if you can go to my website and read that. Part of it is like, for me, it is, there's shameless plugs at the beginning of this.
It's all good.
It is for me about like, I can like show how much I like pay attention and care about who they are as a person, that I'm excellent at giving gifts. So if you need any help, please, my DMs are open for helping you buy gifts for people. So guys, if you need some help buying for your girlfriend or wife, I'm here for you. Guys.
Let's handle this responsibility with care. Let's just don't, fellas.
Just don't.
Okay.
Yes.
Not an invitation to shoot your shot, but
no.
Whatever, man. So yes, Thanksgiving week. We will talk about last week and we will talk about playoff rankings like shortly. But this time of year is always really weird because this is the wind down of college football. It's the wind up of the holidays. Sort of where the year starts to rev down. Yeah, wind up. Yeah. So it's always an odd week because this is the last full boat of games, which is like, I feel like this year it's like hit me over the head. It didn't really hit me until I was writing about locks, and I'm like looking at all the games, and I'm like, man, like I won't have this next week. It actually gets a lot harder to pick 8 or 9 games against the spread because it's just not all there. So I love this week for what it is, but it also for us is the beginning of the end, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either. It's a long friggin' season. So, right? Like, where's your gas tank at right now?
Here's the thing is I think there has been so much chaos this year that it's like I didn't realize how exhausting it was. Obviously, it's great for the sport, and I love that there's been chaos and that we're not getting the same, top 4 we would have expected at the beginning of the season. But week after week, it can be exhausting because the conversations are still happening around the playoff that we normally are done having. So really, there's only like, okay, Michigan, Ohio State play each other. What's going to happen there? It's not usually this many teams being involved in this many chaos scenarios being involved. So it is a little exhausting, but I am happy that we have it, especially before expansion. So I would say I'm thankful, if you will, for the chaos of this year. We should have a drink every time we say thankful on this podcast.
Can I say what I'm right now? I rarely go live to my text messages, but this is relevant text messages. Neighbor Jason.
Yes.
Before we came on, we were talking about old BR colleague Lars Anderson is floating Mickey Joseph, like keeping the job at Nebraska. So I was asking Jason about it, and I just say the text message ends. I will not betray Jason's confidence in reading the whole text, but the last sentence is, "I have no faith in humanity anymore," for his thoughts on the Nebraska coaching search, which is just like a normal pre-Thanksgiving
Yep.
summary. Should they hire him or not? It's not a no, by the way. It's just whatever they do is going to be terrible. So I'm thankful for that. That just made me laugh.
I just realized too, like we're really rolling with this that I didn't even have our show rundown up. That's how exhausted.
Oh,
we are.
I don't.
We're going from show to show. I barely even look.
All right, so let's talk last week because I really want to lean into this week. But like that last sequence with TCU was fucking intense. I was watching it through my hands, like, and then Sonny Dykes afterwards, just like, you know,
we practiced that.
We practiced that. Like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like. And the kicking last week was unbelievable, but that kick was perfect. Little bit of a draw on it. I wish I could hit that with my golf, like off the tee. Holy shit, though, that was uncomfortable. I was having a hard time watching.
Okay, I felt like I was being dramatic. I was like, that is the best execution I have ever seen of a game-winning field goal. Like that with the clock running, and like also the fact that like college kickers are #college kickers and they're known for being so bad and missing things and things like that. I was in shock that was happening and they were so calm. I legitimately scared the crap out of my dog because he was sitting next to me as I was watching it. And I was like, oh my God, the clock's gonna stop. The clock's gonna stop. They're going, wait, he's kicking. I was like, it happened? No way. Like, I felt like a Baylor fan in that moment who was just like completely stunned because you just, that's not easy to do. Like, that's not easy to do. I expected there to be a whistle, a flag or something. I was not expecting it to go the way that it did, and for them to be so calm afterwards. They were just cool with it.
So, I was tense at that game because I had a big bet on Baylor, right? I had a big bet on Baylor. I loved Baylor. Baylor covered. Okay. So what TCU is driving, though, I'm like, no, this is not good. This TCU team, like, they could score a touchdown easily. And then they had, like, 2 run plays.
Yeah.
That were just downright
bizarre.
You were
like, what? Why are you running?
And, I guess, I'm kind of shitting on Sonny Dykes saying, like, we practiced it. No, they clearly practiced the shit out of it.
Oh, totally. Because they knew where he wanted the ball, too. That last run play was to get it in position for him with the clock running.
It was a hurried calm. And even, like, Sonny Dykes, I don't know why, if you have a vacancy, and I think he's happy there. And Texas, like, I think he's great. But I don't know why, like, people aren't, like, talking about this guy. Because if I have a vacancy, if I'm Auburn, I would give him a shit ton of money to come fix my program. Now, this is not source. This is just me not yet drinking a lot of wine. But, like, that guy's awesome. Like, that guy is
amazing.
So I just love everything about it. I feel like I bet against TCU every week. I'm not betting. I may bet on TCU this week, but I'm not betting against TCU this week. And I just love all of this going on with them. And does it end potentially with them getting absolutely shit canned by Georgia? Maybe. But I am ready for that. Like, I'd like to see it,
I'm kind of thinking that if they win out, that they'll be in the 2-3 game as opposed to the 1-4 game. So they wouldn't have to play. Oh, how sad of a national championship would that be, though? I mean, to be fair, if they get past Ohio State or Michigan or
Ohio State TCU would be wonderful. Yes, you're right. No, it's not a Georgia. Well, unless they lose a game and they still make it. Like there's just. But you're right. They probably wouldn't be in that game. I agree with you. So I just love watching.
Oh God, I'm just now like coming to terms with the fact that like Georgia USC. Could be a semifinal. And let me tell you something, though. You know what? I actually like that. You want to know why I like that? This is where we don't even need to be.
How could you not like that?
No. Because I would be afraid for USC. But I actually love it because, in my opinion, okay, Stetson Bennett makes some questionable throws.
Oh, yeah. Go
and
here.
And USC's, not really known for a great tackle. I will say this. They're not known for great tackling. But their defensive turnovers have been
actually you and I just filmed
consistent.
You guys just filmed the live show, and I was going to pull this up, but I was scared to do anything on my fucking internet because it sucks. So hold on, let's go to turnover margin. interceptions gained, USC is number 1 in the country with 18.
That would actually be a good game.
I'll be fire matchup too, though. Just like fire, like Caleb Williams versus that. Like,
can you imagine?
It's as good of a semifinal, and just in terms of general fun.
If you're
intrigue.
an SEC fan, you better hope and pray that Georgia gets that game and wins that game. Because if not, I am coming for you. I'm coming for you. That will certainly happen. Oh, I want that matchup so bad now.
I want to talk a little like yes, we'll do the playoff scenario.
Let's talk about the other games that happened this weekend.
Michigan, and I don't want to get too deep into it because I think this is part of my catalog of Michigan concerns. It was just weird. Like both Michigan and Ohio State just looked like they didn't give a fuck about these games because they're playing each other. And by the way, two Harbaugh-isms stood out. One, did you see his interview at the end of the game where he clearly didn't want to talk? And he's like, oh, no, these kids. And she's like, okay, we'll talk about the game. He's like, oh, well, no, talk to them. And just ran off. Did you see that? It was really awkward.
He does that all the time.
And then he kind of, they had him and Ryan Day beef. He sort of shut it down. The born on third base from last year, which was a great comment, by the way. Not because I'm, Harbaugh's my guy, but it was a good dig. And like the hate, it feels pretty respectful right now. It will not be on Saturday.
No, it will. Certainly, if Ohio State wins, I can guarantee you that Ryan Day has something ready in his pocket. Because also, I told you after watching,
like a knife, like going to shake him at set, like oh my God, down goes Jim.
No. I just think he'll have something ready to say in that post game press conference. But it was interesting to me to see how upset Ryan Day was after the Maryland game, because clearly they let them back in that game and they did not play well at the end of that game. And they've had this tendency to sort of let people come back. And this was the first time that I've seen him like visibly mad about it. And so I think there's going to be a lot of like heavy coach speak going into this and like pumping up this game, because the way that they finished that last game was not good.
No, it wasn't. It's hard to know exactly what it means. Like, we'll find out, right? Mm-hmm. It still is kind of wild that Michigan won this game last year. It had been so long. You had the snow. I
was in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. So we'll talk about this game. We got to talk about Tennessee too.
Yes.
That is as heartbreaking of a turn of events as you will find in college football. Like it is hard in terms of total magnitude of blowout. You're a 3-touchdown favorite, I think it was. And then your quarterback, who's been amazing, blows out his knee.
Yeah.
And also like I want to start, the Hendon Hooker thing is like, that's like college football, unfortunately, in a nutshell. Yeah. It's like this guy, he has been amazing. He's helped the program. We're in the position they are in because of him, not exclusively, but largely because of him. And then like that, he blows out his knee and it's done.
Yeah.
And he's gone. And it's so strange the way this thing moves. And then Tennessee defensively, did you see the cushion? Not to get all X's and O's, like it was like they were like 15 yards off. It was one of the strangest football games I've seen all year.
Well, and to your point, like, it's incredibly sad coming off a weekend where UCLA and Oregon both lost and really opened up the door for Tennessee to be in the conversation. And the next game, they end up getting just absolutely mollywopped by South Carolina and Spencer Rattler, by the way. Happy for Spencer Rattler. I feel like that kid, since being on QB1, has just gotten shit on and had his own fans boo him and chant for his backup at Oklahoma, and like he's now in a better place. And I think that was kind of fun to see. And I also really like Shane Beamer. I really, really like him. And I tweeted this, but the Mayo Bowl will really change a person. So you have a Mayo bath. You're destined for greatness.
Shane looks like he's enjoying himself.
Yes, it looks fun.
Like genuine. Like which is not something he's supposed to have. And actually, you know what? You bring up a good point about Spencer Rattler. that kid's kind of been put through the ringer here.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to have that, like, he looked like the best quarterback in football last week.
Yeah.
So partly it was like, where the fuck has this been?
Yeah.
But it was amazing to see. All right, before we move on, any other last week? North Carolina, what the hell?
Yeah, why
I guess would be my like. Ugh, that's a really peculiar loss. I've been like fading them all year. I didn't fade them then, and they up 17-0 and just lose. Like, that was bad. So that we can turn now to the playoff rankings. So we'll start with there. It really screwed Clemson up. You and I just recorded our playoff reaction show. I think that North Carolina loss is definitely a big one in terms of, like, what does it mean for the future? Because now that ACC championship game doesn't mean as much, right? And North Carolina plays NC State this week. They could lose that game. You know, it was a good week for Clemson. That wasn't a good result for Clemson.
Yeah. I think for Clemson specifically, they really need USC to lose to Notre Dame because that helps their case and gives them room to sort of move up. And they would still probably, I mean, they need LSU to lose to Georgia too. They need the Michigan-Ohio State game not to be close. So there's certainly things that are not totally in their favor, and that certainly does not help. No. I was legitimately fuming. So full disclosure, on the live stream, we sit with, like, I can see a screen where ESPN is showing, and I can see the rankings as they come up. And I made a comment to you and our producer. I was like, USC better be ranked above LSU. And sure enough, the committee put LSU above USC. And I thought, like, this is the perfect week that you get to do that and you can justify doing that because LSU's resume looks worse this week and USC's resume got better.
What are we doing here, committee? Like, what are we doing here? Like,
it doesn't make any sense. Like, that, I said this to you already. I think there's an Aisha Curry tweet that was like, this is rigged for ratings. I just witnessed it with my own eyes. That's legitimately how I felt. That is how I felt when I saw LSU ranked above USC. And people can sit here all day and say it's your Pac-12 bias, yada, yada, yada. No. The fact that a 2-loss LSU team who lost to a team who just lost very badly to South Carolina and then won against UAB stays or moves up and is above a USC team who beat a rival who is also ranked in a good game. Like, that doesn't add up to me. That means you're not actually using the eye test.
So here's my tinfoil hat on the committee. They did this with TCU earlier this year, by the way. Mm-hmm. They love to underrank teams that have a big game the next week. It's like a safety. It's like their parachute safety, like, net. Yeah. Because then it's like, okay, fine, we're just going to put USC here. And when they beat Notre Dame, if they beat Notre Dame, I don't know how I feel about that game.
I think USC will win that game.
Yeah, I think so too, if I were to make a pick. But Notre Dame's playing well. So, but, okay, USC wins that game, we can rank them a little higher.
They better
LSU
be ranked
plays
LSU.
Dog shit A&M. I mean, so it's an easy, it's like it's an easy, you would
think it would be easy, but it's not. It's just so crazy to me.
That one will be easy. I'm going to say that, like, mostly confident.
But no, because you're going to have to put them in the top 4.
Yes.
Because Michigan, I guess you could keep Michigan or Ohio State in the top 4.
That's a great question.
If they lose. So that's going to be the big thing next week is, like, where do you put whoever loses that game? Do you put them at 4, move TCU up, and keep it the same 4? It's just going to be rearranged? Or do you, because also, like, do you move Ohio State to 1 if they win? Like, I'm assuming that Ohio State's going to win. I am very confident in that pick, actually.
Well, and then, I mean, the other thing with this is, well, I think there's so many fascinating things about the playoff right now. But tennis, like Clemson, you've got Clemson kind of just hanging out back there, waiting to hopefully get past South Carolina and then win the ACC. You don't know what still is going to happen with this one-loss Big Ten team. You got Iowa, by the way, waiting to just ruin everything for everyone. How about this? Ohio State beats Michigan. Iowa beats Ohio State. Michigan gets in. Ohio. That's not how it would work. But yeah, just
No
something
Big Ten
with
teams get in, and then
Iowa,
the Pac-12.
something.
No, it actually would be the SEC. The Big Ten would get left out. I feel like
just everybody, just
everybody.
Iowa,
gone.
just like
if
just
you
blows
lose
up the
to
toilet.
Iowa, you don't deserve to be in the college football playoff. No offense.
Iowa, no, none taken. Well, a little bit taken. Can I just talk about Iowa real quick? This is the playoff rankings portion of the show. Iowa has no business being in this. Can we talk about how fucking hilarious it is that Iowa, if they beat Nebraska, will be in the Big Ten championship game? Like, do you know how fucking funny that is?
That is hilarious. Do you and Jason have a bet on that?
No, we're just both like, it doesn't get very competitive on that front. Like, I truly, like, if Iowa loses to Nebraska, that is the funniest Iowa outcome. Because it's not funny if Iowa plays Ohio State and loses 55-3, which they probably would. I mean, they did both of these games. Iowa is playing better, but it is so funny that Iowa, who has, well, I'll tell you what offense that they have, and the Big Ten's like, okay, we got to go to the top two teams in the conference immediately. We cannot have the Iowa Hawkeyes, currently number 123 in scoring offense, representing us in the championship game. Yes, Iowa, rank Iowa, you cowards. Back to the playoff. Kansas State, the teams that we talked about on our show that I wanted to talk a little bit about. Kansas State, I think, is a really interesting piece in all this. We kind of went back and forth. So TCU beats Iowa State, loses to Kansas State. They're out in your eyes. Like, are they not making the playoff if they lose in the championship game to a really good Kansas State team?
No, I don't think. Well, I mean, again, it would depend. It would depend on the result of the Ohio State Michigan game. If USC wins their conference and Clemson wins their conference, and the discussion is between USC, Clemson, and TCU, all with one loss.
But 2 conference champs, yeah, they're toast.
No, 3 conference champs.
Oh yeah, I see. So you'd have Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan,
and then you'd have 1 spot for 3 conference champions. That would be fascinating. I think they would end up putting USC in.
This fly keeps like flying in front of my fucking camera. Get out of here, you piece of shit. Like, it is so distracting. All right, God, I'm just trying to do a podcast on Thanksgiving week. Drink some wine, and I have this fly. It's like the Breaking Bad episode where it's like it's just driving me crazy. If you just see me smash my desk in half,
okay,
and the computer goes flying, and that's like the end.
I'll just do the podcast by myself. Just talk to
my
me.
picks. Yeah, my picks are in there. Probably be more entertaining, anyways. All right. Any other playoff thoughts?
No, I'm just really pissed about that ranking. I also kind of feel bad for Penn State. I feel like Penn State should be ranked a little higher.
All right, let's talk Penn State's resume. This was another thing.
Their only losses, though, what bothers me about it is that their only losses are to Ohio State and Michigan. And, like, Alabama's wins don't look as impressive to me as Penn State's wins do.
Okay, but tell me which of these wins makes you excited. Purdue.
By how many points?
4.
Ooh.
To open the year. Ohio, Auburn, Central Michigan, let's fly, Northwestern, which was only a 10-point game, Minnesota, Indiana, Maryland, and Rutgers. It's like dog shit alley. I just.
To be fair, it's not their fault.
No, I agree with you.
It's not their fault that your conference is trash, but also you have 2 of the top-ranked teams in the country right now, so that...
It would help if there was just something on there. And in fairness, they did go play at Auburn.
Again, what are Alabama's flashy wins?
Texas.
Texas and Ole Miss. Game. Look, I'm always
always
targeted as the Alabama homer on this podcast, but like, I'm being real. I'm being real. I actually want them to play. Honestly, I really don't.
I will do this game. I will do this reindeer game with you. Because, what the fuck, it's Thanksgiving and we're already up. So you got Texas is a better win than anyone on Penn State's schedule. Would you agree?
No, because they could have easily lost that game.
But it's still a better win than...
It doesn't matter. I'm looking at eye test here. I'm not just looking
Oh
at the
my
numbers.
God.
If we just
But
look
the
at
eye test is they're playing shitty teams and beating them badly.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're
All
not
right.
losing. They're not losing.
Is Arkansas is better than anybody on...
Arkansas actually deserves to be in the playoff, is really what I'm getting at.
Their schedule sucks. Mississippi State is better than any win on Penn State's schedule. Not saying that's a good thing. Ole Miss also, and Alabama really didn't look like they gave a flying fuck last week against Austin.
No.
But whatever. So
I think
all right.
those, actually, I would probably venture to guess that Alabama and Penn State play each other in a bowl game.
God, that would be... No, sign me up. I'm in. Seems like a bet here. There's, for whatever reason, a rivalry just brewing here for no goddamn good reason at all, other than there's wine and it's Thanksgiving. All right. Lane Kiffin.
Somebody I am super thankful for.
Cheers. So, Auburn, Lane Kiffin being rumored.
But
you got some guy at some news station say he was going to resign. Lane fired back.
Yeah, quote
tweeted. I think that's a dangerous game for Lane. I can explain that. And there's definitely smoke here, right? When like Bruce Feldman is going on and saying like, yeah, like seems like he would be the target. Like there's no doubt smoke here. You told me, and I didn't see this, but that he had spoke to his team and said,
yes, he had spoken to his team and said everything was false.
Okay. Because they sure as shit didn't play like everything was false last week. Like, not that you can connect those dots, but they looked very uninspired heading into the Egg Bowl. Could just be a bad game. What the hell do I know? But, so, I think he'd be a great hire at Auburn. I think Auburn's a better job than Ole Miss. Not right now. But Auburn has more, better, a new facility. Like, there's a lot of reasons to do this if you're Lane Kiffin. And money is on that list because I think Auburn can also pay more. But what do you think? Where do they end up here? And this is also very odd because you got a coach, an interim coach, and Carnell Williams is trying to win that job. I don't know. Auburn fans probably have mixed emotions about that. I think that, this guy's come in who's super likable, who's like a legend at the program, who'd recruit extraordinarily well, but like is still figuring this thing out. And then there's Lane Kiffin, there's Hugh Freeze. Where are you on this from a Lane standpoint and an Auburn standpoint?
So I know you said it was a slippery slope for him to sort of acknowledge these rumors on Twitter, but he's saying that as of right now, because in that tweet too where the guy said that he was leaving, he said that nothing had been offered. So first of all, no one's ever going to leave their job if nothing has been offered.
Now, it's not offered until it's accepted. Lane may not know, like, his agent.
I don't think that there has been, I think there's maybe been discussions if he would be interested. I don't think they've talked money and stuff like that.
Oh,
I think he's safe enough saying, I don't think that Lane would tweet that this is false because right now it's mostly just that, like, he's not going there and it hasn't been discussed. I think that he's safe saying, hey, it's false, even if he does go there. Because I think to your point, it was just if he leaves after like kind of saying on Twitter he's not going anywhere, people will be upset and he will burn a lot of bridges in that sense. But I think, like, I don't think he's, well, I shouldn't say this, but I don't think he's dumb enough to be like, hey, I'll publicly say this and simmer it down. I think he would have just left it. I know Lane doesn't leave anything, but I think I honestly, he will be in a discussion to be the head coach at Auburn after Ole Miss's regular season is over. Absolutely. There will be discussion. Also, there will be a private plane tracker from Oxford, Mississippi to Auburn, Alabama, and they will certainly discuss it. But I do also think that the Hugh Freeze thing is a very real possibility. I think that's who Auburn fans would want and would choose to go with.
So it's also like, even on the Lane front, on the Carnell front, like, you want to give him a shot at Alabama. Good, bad, or otherwise, however you feel, like, you should let him have his moment. Like, he's done enough for your program where you probably don't want this stuff getting out. I'm going to go back and maybe, I said Lane shouldn't be doing this, like, because I don't want Lane to put himself in a position where all of a sudden it happens and it looks like was lying, which maybe he wasn't. I actually love the fact that he's getting involved. I feel like when we ask coaches these questions, I would hate to be in that position. You're coaching these kids. You probably have this tremendous opportunity for your family and for yourself, like lingering in the background, where your agent truly is being the disconnect between you and this, right? There's a reality to that for sure.
Yeah.
I would hate to be in that position because like, what do you say? Like Brian Kelly, I remember when he was at Cincinnati, he's like, oh, buddy, there is no way I'm leaving. And then he's like, fucking see ya. I'm out. Like, good luck, suckers.
Did you bring that up to remind me that I got cold takes exposed on my Brian Kelly to LSU tweet?
I did not. No, but I did it there too. Yes.
By the way, that was a very valid point. And I was like, there's no way that he leaves Notre Dame for LSU. It's just not happening. And within like 6 hours of that tweet, it was like, he gone.
Shit.
And I was like, no way. I didn't think it was real. Honestly, that one took me a while to believe. The Lincoln Riley to USC one was shocking, but like that, that all happened. That all happened within 72 hours.
Yeah, you got a lot of boosters in Auburn that have got like loose lips that are like letting things fly. Lane is handling this in a way that Lane
I love Lane.
Only will. And I do love this too, because you ask a lot of these coaches and he's like, I'm focused on Mississippi State. It's like, okay. And I don't blame them for saying that. I just don't want Lane to erase any goodwill. Like, this is how the game works. This is how the sausage is made, and people just kind of need to understand that. That dude is just content heavy.
Love him.
And I really do. Like, on the other side, I think he and Auburn would be an amazing match.
Yeah.
I think that would be a really tremendous fit. But I think it's going to cost probably $80 million.
So I'm going to go there. What if he doesn't go now to Auburn and waits for the greatest of all time?
Oh, wow.
To retire.
You think Lane wants that though?
Yes, I do. Look at what he's done. Look at what he's done in terms of I don't think
Oh man.
Look, Tuscaloosa not as beautiful and luxury, but Lane has his younger girlfriend. He's good to go. He can transport her to Tuscaloosa. We're going there.
Oh my God. Lot to unpack in you shitting on Tuscaloosa and then just not shitting on, just sidestepping.
I'm just saying Lane himself has been like, by the way, the airport's so small, you have to go to Birmingham to be able to fly other places, and it's not easy, and people recognize you everywhere there, okay?
It's an annoying
like, LA,
drive.
No one cared who you were. He talked about that with USC and Alabama.
Here's my, like, this pod is off the rails, which is our best work. I think Lane, like, he knows that the guy that follows Nick Saban is like fucked to the nth degree.
But look at the way that he has propped up Coach Saban, defended Coach Saban, and been there and like really given him his like support and love publicly. And part of me thinks it's like his way of getting Alabama fans to really love and support him. And I honestly, like, I thought of that while you were talking, and I was like, that actually like kind of makes sense to me. Because before it was always that Dabo was going to be the person. That's not happening. I honestly believe that would be incredible.
I'm going to ask Alabama fans that I like are like off the rails. If you were to ask them, pick your next coach right now, Lane is in the team photo, right? Like, Lane is there.
Yeah.
It's not Bill O'Brien.
It's like, not Bill O'Brien.
It's not Bill O'Brien. It's not Pete Golding. Lane might be the guy. I don't know who the guy would be other than Lincoln Riley or I don't know. Goddamn fly. Flying through the camera still. So annoying. All right.
Something we're not thankful for is the fact that EA Sports decided to push back the NCAA football game. This is your forte, so I'm going to let you just go through the emotions with us. And I'm glad you have wine for this.
Okay, so I've got two sides of me that can talk, from the fan and actually from game development, which is my other life, which is the nerdy part. And I'll try not to get on my soapbox. But as a fan, this totally sucks. They announced this game too early. That was a mistake, by the way, I think, in announcing this game a couple of years ago now when they did. Now, they've generated a lot of build-up toward it, but, like, it'll have been, like, 4 years since it's back, and it's tough. So as a fan, it just sucks because the game is great and we want it to be here. I think I got like my college football inroads because I used to do simulations on this fucking game.
Yeah.
So I have a connection with this game that is odd. And so I'm bummed for college football fans getting into the part of this. I'm not surprised by this. So game development is really hard. It takes a lot of time. And when we did a story with BR on this game and like the aura around it, there's this mindset that it's just Madden with like a skin, and it's not. It's like developing a new game from scratch. They clearly want to make it really good. Madden's reputation has taken a huge hit, by the way, over the last like 3 years. It had bugs. It hasn't been good, and I think that's a part of this too. Mm-hmm. The other part of this is college football has undergone so much shit in the last 15 months. I think they're trying to keep up. And now they did say something very meaningful today, which is, they're going to try and get real players in the game. They're going to pay for them. That's a huge key. So here's where I think we are. Beyond where the game development is, because, again, I have designed Golden Tee for 8 years now. Mm. It is brutal to do so. And we don't have to create a new game from scratch every year. We skin it and we do new stuff.
Yeah.
I think the licensing part of this page is the driving force, saying, holy shit, we have to figure out what we're doing. And if we're going to launch this game in July, we have to basically be done in May. And there's no friggin' way we're going to get our hands on NIL and everything else when it comes to doing the licensing with the players. That's me personally. I don't think they want to launch a game without real players in it. That's, if I were to guess, that would be what's driving this delay.
Yeah. Well, and I think legally, like, they're just going to have to figure out a way to do it and make like a fund to somehow filter in for whatever people want to be included and don't want to be included. I think that's sort of how it's going to go. It's going to be a group effort type of thing. Because I don't think you can pay more for other players than... I think that was like the whole...
It's like the group licensing thing.
Type deal. So,
but you can pay somebody to be on the cover or something like that.
So I'm curious how that works because, again, like, NIL is so new, and we've talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast about how, like, it certainly like came out, it just happened so fast, and like they're still working out ways to sort of not control it, but just like mediate it. And I just don't think that like it's all there. I do think the video game itself will actually help. There's no like players association. It's supposed to be the NCAA, but let's be real.
No.
We hate them. So
no.
But there needs to be, I think there needs to be some form of like players association type thing that helps get this through. And I think in the next probably year or so, we will see some conversation about how that'll work and how we go about it. In terms of like players collectively getting together and having some form of association that like really helps them. And then the NCAA is out of luck because we don't need them. But it is interesting that, you know, I'm glad that they did do this though, because in the sense of, I'd rather them get it right than try to rush something out and then have it be a complete disaster and have there be another lawsuit and all of those things. Like, I much rather it just be like right the first time. And I think that's sort of where they're coming from this.
I also think I will play my own devil's advocate. They announced it way early. The interest in this game is, this was on like the front page of ESPN today, right? Like that, the announcement, they have like drummed up like interest in this game that when it launches, it's going to be a huge deal. And I do think it's so important to the reputation that they get it right, that there's a lot at stake here. Mm-hmm. I just can't imagine logistically having to get all of these individual pieces in place, especially from scratch, right? You do the game and then you'll have Ohio State, you'll have the traditions, you'll have the fight songs, you'll have all that stuff. That's going to be in the game too, by the way, which is going to make this game. But having to do it all over, oh my God, gives me anxiety. So I am bummed. I am not surprised. And I believe when this game launches, my tradition was to go get it at midnight. I guess you don't have to actually leave anymore. It just comes out. That's how long it's been. But I would go get it at midnight. I would simulate it, and I'd write about it, and I'd go to bed at 6 a.m. That's what I did.
That gave me an inspo for something to talk about later. It just reminded me.
It sucks, but again, get it right, get all the pieces together, give us real players, pay the players. And it doesn't matter. We'll fucking be there. Like, tell us where, tell us when, tell us how much. And, buddy, I'm there. And that's it. Right. Also, sponsor the pod. Let me play test.
We could do a video of you trying to teach me how to play.
I mean, if there was ever something that I know, it's games and college football. Yeah. Literally. So let me test, let me help in any capacity that I can with all this limited free time I have.
So in the nature of this podcast just being our typical Thanksgiving episode and having lots of things, you read a tweet aloud, part of a tweet out loud. So somebody asked where I was. It was in a group text and somebody was like, Paige, where are you? And I literally sent them a picture. I'm like, I'm recording the podcast right now. And so Kristen Sabin Sedis sent me a text and said, can I be a guest one day and we'll just fly off the rails?
Are you kidding?
You guys, we would I'm sure people would love. I think we should have Kristen on the show. I don't know if we should do it during maybe like after this season. Or do you want to do it before?
Yes. And we should do it around like a random sporting event that we could talk about that none of us really care about and then inject college football into it somehow. Yeah.
So we'll have Kristen on the podcast eventually is what I'm saying. She would give a lot of good insight. And it would give her a place to just talk. Yeah. You know? But also, how well does she know? Well, first of all, I have to say, she did say, oh no, it was Chris Marler who said Adam in all caps. They're very they love you much more than they love me, of course.
But Kristen, I mean, the one bummer, we had a good time last year. I never met in person. Mm-hmm. Beers were had, fun conversations were had.
Her husband's name is also Adam.
Makes it easy, but got along. Like, just know, like, it's a gift. Within the first 30 seconds, is this person going to be fun to drink beers with? The answer was emphatically yes.
Yes. For both Kristen and Adam.
Yeah.
Excellent people.
We could do some. Yeah, I'm in. I'm
thankful
in on this,
for Kristen. So I ran out of wine.
Cheers. Me too. Are you out?
Yeah, I had a bottle open and I was just finishing it. I wasn't opening another bottle. Should I pause the pod? Too. Go open another bottle of wine.
I could filibuster. I don't give a shit. You kidding? I don't care. What do I talk about? I'm talking about NCAA some more. Get into the core key pieces of physics design in sports games.
Okay, well, we do have a lot to get to on this podcast, so let's start with this week's games that we want to talk about. Not ones that we bet on, so let's not do picks and pints one. Let's do ones that were...
No, I like this. Okay, so Notre Dame USC.
Okay.
I'm like super struggling with this game. I could tell you I want to take Notre Dame, and here's why. I wonder, as weird as this is, do you think that last week, physically and emotionally, how much that emptied the gas tank for USC?
Yeah.
There's a lot. Mm-hmm. Caleb Williams, after that game, by the way, was fucking ready to go. It was cool to see.
So I've not seen Riley. I loved that. I do have to say, we didn't talk about that enough. That USC UCLA game was incredibly impressive. I loved watching every minute of that game. DTR left his body legitimately. I think he might have lost a finger on the field.
It was brutal to watch. I hated the way that game ended. Oh.
And I do have to say, I don't think that I think USC knows what they need to do to get to the playoff. And Lincoln Riley, look, I know fans are going to hate on him having gotten to the playoffs and lost a lot. He knows how to get there.
This team, by the way, it's odd for me to say this, but there's nowhere close the talent on this team that there will be on future USC teams. Now, he may never have another quarterback like this, ever. This is where I am with Caleb Williams.
Interesting. You really are that high on him? In terms of, I know we don't talk about a draft on this, but I know the conversation has been don't draft guys and wait around for the next round of guys.
True sophomore.
Yeah.
And just also physically, I don't know when, I noticed this last week too. This dude got big. He is just an insane talent. And he's going to get great quarterbacks. They have a commit coming in, I think, that is one of the top 5 players in the country at quarterback. And so he'll get great guys. But, like, let's talk about Caleb Williams' numbers. Hold on.
By the way, I did just text my family to see if anyone wants to bring me more wine.
Oh, that is the even better idea. I don't even need to filibuster. It's just like
we'll see if anyone's willing to open a bottle of wine for me and bring it in.
No, I am here on Caleb Williams. I am, and I haven't always been here. But, like, it's just so for the year, by the way. Hold on, that's stats.
Stats.
He's only 6'1". So 2022. I'm like, yeah, fading fast. 33 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has 7 rushing touchdowns as well. So 40 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And oh, by the way, since we're here, we should probably do a little Heisman update.
On CJ Stroud.
Too. And, well, yeah, I'm not feeling great about my Stroud bet. I'm just not. I think Caleb.
Remember when I made a drunk Bo Nix pick because of you?
I know. I'm sorry.
That was your
guy. Fucking warrior, though.
To be fair, I only put $10 on it, so it's fine.
So CJ Stroud minus 110. Caleb Williams is plus 110. Blake Corum plus 1,500. Max Duggan plus 4,000. Bo Nix plus 6,000. So Marvin Harrison Jr., by the way, plus 20,000. Just great. I just love that. Not going to happen. Stetson Bennett at plus 8,000 kind of feels like an intriguing play. Still, just saying. Ohio State loses, USC loses, Stetson Bennett conquers the universe.
Look, I gotta tell you, watching him throw the football makes me so incredibly nervous. He trusts, to be fair, the people that he's throwing to have done a great job. I mean, if I was throwing to Darnell Washington too, I would trust that he'd body anybody.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? So don't mind it. But I'm a little nervous. I genuinely believe that if they play a defense or a secondary that could...
Like the USC team?
Yeah.
But I guess...
I kind of like that. I want it so bad now, which makes me upset because I hate having fan
the
investment in
college
just, the football aspect of it.
It will break your logic. Like, that's what it does. So I guess getting back, Notre Dame can be that team. It's been a weird fucking year for Notre Dame. I mean, even Navy, who I guess is playing better a couple of weeks ago, they almost lost. Navy just beat UCF.
I think USC is going to be fine in this game. I honestly do. And
if I had to pick a team to cover, I think Notre Dame's going to cover this game.
What's the spread?
It's 5.5.
Okay, I think I bet the total in this one. What do you think about the Iron Bowl? I know it's not relevant to playoff rankings, but I still am excited about it because I feel like...
Oh, I'm always excited. It's like
it
history.
Gets weird.
Like, it does get weird. You have a few different things here that fascinate me. You have a coach that might not have the job, could put a lot of pressure on the administration if he wins this game.
Yes.
You have an Alabama team that has frankly looked like it didn't care last week. I don't want to say that. I hate saying that about college kids. Let me retort that. Don't delete it from the pod because they're my words. But they just look uninspired, Alabama. But I think they could get inspired for this game. I really do. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering what version of that we get. No, it's 22-point spread. It feels like a lot. Part of me, from just looking at the point spread standpoint, thinks, all right, that's too many points. Auburn's been playing better. Kind of want to play Alabama at that line, but I just don't feel great about it. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points.
Remember this game last year, by the way? Remember this? Alabama was out. And then Bryce Young, you had that huge completion down the sideline. It was a wild finish. It really reshaped the entire college football playoff. It was like that. So Auburn can pull some silly ass shit here. There's no question. I just don't think they will.
Okay. Before we get to the obvious big game, I want to talk potential upset situations. Do you think it is more likely that Iowa State upsets TCU? Okay. Or the Texas A&M upsets LSU?
Oh. Well, one of them is in my picks and pines.
Oh, really? Wait.
And the other is TCU and Iowa State.
Oh.
So stay tuned on that answer. I actually love that question. Point spread's the exact same. Doesn't it feel very different? What would be your answer in that? Let me do a question to a question. You think that's more likely?
Yep.
Did you see the fucking stadium last week? Like the A&M stadium? Like
yeah.
how empty it was?
Yeah, like how it was like cleared out. Yeah, they're
fucking
down bad, but
people running
again,
around.
they played a close game with Alabama, so I can see for LSU to basically spoil their playoff hopes in any way, shape, or form. Having Texas A&M, that's a win that you get just to get. That's how like the SEC has been. I mean, look at South Carolina. So I think that's more likely than TCU getting upset. I think TCU goes into the championship game undefeated.
I think TCU minus the 10 is a very good bet. I'm not going to comment on the other one for we're almost there. It'll be a couple of minutes.
And then
Ohio State, Michigan.
Yes.
All right. So I don't have this in my picks and pints.
Me
neither
neither.
do you. So we can lean
yes,
into
I
this
do.
game.
Yes, I do. Actually.
Right. Well, then I'll start. I kind of like the under as a play, but I just don't have a really good feel for either of these teams. I will say, if Blake Corum is not 100%, that's probably why I don't really feel great about this game. Like, I'm literally watching videos of him delivering turkeys, which is a wonderful gesture, and he seems like a great guy, but I'm like watching his steps. That's true degenerate shit, right?
Yeah.
He's delivering turkeys. I'm like, ooh, is that a limp? No, it's not. It's just icy out. Like that's like degenerate shit. Like I'm watching. And they asked him about his knees. Like, yeah, I'm going to be fine. He didn't look fine. I am so happy in a week of injuries that he's not seriously hurt, we believe. Their offense is just so important that he does his thing.
Yeah.
Especially to this front, that if he's not 100%, JJ McCarthy, who again I like, I don't know if he's ready for this on the road. This environment's going to be wild. And I'm going to do a quick weather check on that, by the way. It's supposed to be very nice here for the next couple of days. So I don't think there's going to be a weather bullshit. But what are your vibes going into this game?
So we can start picks and pints here because I have a pick here. So I actually surprisingly took Michigan plus 7.5 because I think it's a rivalry game. I think it's going to be relatively close. I think Ohio State ultimately wins, but I'm going to take Michigan with the points there.
By the way, weather forecast. Wait, am I clicking on the wrong day? No, I'm not. Weather forecast. Showers early, becoming a steady rain later in the day. 80% chance.
Which means not a lot of touchdowns in close games.
That's Michigan. That's advantage Michigan, I think. We've seen it, right? Northwestern wind, like if they,
Yeah.
It's a lot of points. And I don't know if Ohio State has earned it with how they've played.
No, absolutely. So I've gotten burned so many times betting with Ohio State. So I'm going to go against that. But let's see. Do we have any other picks and pints that are the same?
Oh, we have two, by the way. We have two. So I'll start with the first. Okay. Oregon State and Oregon.
Yes.
Beavers. Go
Beavs. Go Beavs.
I fucking love this team. I bet against them last week. I bet Arizona State. So stupid. I was trying to get fucking... Well, obviously. Trying to get cute. Dumb shit move. And they just walloped in Corvallis. Bo Nix is banged up. This is a problem game for Oregon. So Oregon State moneyline play for me too, by the way. Like this is
interesting.
This is a investment game for me. Like, go back up the Brinks truck and yeah.
Wow, we have two that are the same. So go Beavs. I think that Oregon State is going to. I'm not putting money line on them, but I'll take Oregon State plus 3 versus Oregon.
All right, the other game we have is Texas Tech versus Oklahoma. Now, I got in Oklahoma last week was a play. They were up 28-0, and they just like from there it's just like we don't want to play football anymore. That's what it felt like. So, Texas Tech. This is like a perfect spot for this team at home. Oklahoma back on their bullshit. Somebody on our playoff show said that Oklahoma should be ranked.
I was just thinking that. I was like, can we talk about the person that said that? I hate when people in that chat will call us dumb and say that we have no idea what we're talking about, but we'll say dumb shit like that.
No, I just hard no. So, Texas Tech is just a feisty team. I think it's the perfect game for them. So you've gotten 3 out. I've gotten 2. I can go to, here we go. LSU minus 10 versus Texas A&M. All right. I am a contrarian bettor. The contrarian in me says,
This is a
bet
horrible
Texas
bet.
A&M.
I love you so much,
Bet
but this
Texas
is a horrible
A&M.
bet.
No, like this team is so done. They are thinking about whatever the fuck they're going to do next week. I don't know what that is, by the way. School, like class, partying, like they're injured. Their coach is like getting paid $90 million. That stadium shot last week. I'm like, there is no last stand here. There is just nothingness. There is just nothing. And this is the nothing result. LSU impressed me with that UAB win, by the way. You know, LSU was favored by 14 over UAB. It's 10 versus A&M. That's where we are. So I'm A&M. I'm sorry. And if you make this close and weird, I'm happy for you.
You'll need to apologize.
LSU's going to win this game by like 25 points.
Okay. That's an interesting take.
The sheep and I.
I've got Coastal Carolina covering versus James Madison at 13.5.
So this line look at all weird to you? Like, I'll be honest, I've bet against Coastal Carolina a few times this year. I've watched a little of James Madison. That's a huge spread.
Huge spread.
Yeah, like it's like I've been staring
There's
at this
something we don't
line
know. Is
all
somebody
week.
like majorly injured that we have like no clue that I'm just like missing?
This is kind of where I've been with this game. You know, and I have the over. I know not with these, but in my extended picks here on Bleacher Report, would you go read, please? I'm going to take the over in this game, but this point spread's just bizarre. I'm kind of with you. Just take the points and hang on, see what happens.
Yeah, I kind of like it. All right. Let's see.
I got a total. Arizona State over 65.5. I thought this would be up your alley.
I can't
Both
bet
of these
on that
offenses.
Game, but I would, if I was, that's what I would bet on.
You do not bet on Arizona games?
No.
I don't know if we've talked about this.
I don't bet on my team. The only time I ever bet on Arizona is I bet Arizona basketball to win the national championship every year.
I live bet Iowa last week. That was a disgusting bet, but it won.
No, yeah. I don't bet on Arizona unless it's Arizona basketball, and I bet them to win the national championship every year.
I will bet you one of these two teams scores 45 points. So I need, 3 touchdowns?
I need us to win this game.
Yeah. No, Arizona is feisty. Both these teams are kind of feisty, not great. Arizona more feisty and better. But
by the way, just like a funny is that I was watching ESPN this morning and Herm Edwards is on there. And like it says like his resume from the NFL, like no mention of him being at ASU. Just hilarious.
God. Yeah, I mean they've played better. Like they've actually had some moments. They're not good. That was one of my under win bets to start the year. I mean, that is just a beautiful thing. But Arizona has been fun.
Yeah.
And I think this game actually could be very fun. All right. What else? You have a total as well, don't you?
Yes. I have Notre Dame USC over 64.5 points.
That's an interesting total. That is an interesting total.
I'm back on my over bullshit.
That's good, because the under bullshit, that's not you. That's just
it's not me.
It's not who you are. Mm-mm. My last one is Missouri +3 versus Arkansas. I did get in on Arkansas last week versus Ole Miss.
Gross game.
It is a gross game, but Missouri is just a pain in the ass. Like, and I mean it in the best possible way.
They kept up with Georgia.
No, they are. They're just a pain in the ass, and this is like the Arkansas excellence failure sandwich. Right? You have a piece of excellence, then you have a piece of dog shit. And then excellence and dog shit, this is like the dog shit. Like, I guess I should go up. If you're watching the video, I'm going down while making a sandwich. If you make the sandwich from the top down. No, you go the other way. So, there are picks and pints. Now, random stuff.
We've got a lot to get to.
Go ahead and start with your... Okay,
Kimmy G.
Could I start the video today that was circulating of the intros where you had Jimmy G in his whatever color suit. I don't even know what. Yeah, but we got to go to like the Crayola crayon style.
Okay, it was like more like a rose color.
Fair enough.
Dusty
and then
rose.
they show poor Colt McCoy, who looked like he had just gotten out of locked in a tanning bed for about 17 hours straight. And I love me some Colt McCoy, by the way, but not fair to my man Colt. Jimmy G was looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I could use Jimmy G on the Jets right now, real bad.
Let's not talk about your quarterback because I'll say things I can't take back, and that'll be on.
I would like to not talk about the Jets.
So we can talk about the Niners.
Yeah, they look pretty fucking good.
They look really good, and I'm trying not to get my hopes up, but also like the fact that I was listening to like media people be proud of Jimmy and say, hey, you know what? I've really given Jimmy a hard time, and he's been playing really well. And it just makes me so nervous. Like, please stop. Please stop. Don't jump on that bandwagon because I want him to still play well. I want to win a Super Bowl. I am already there in my mind. Please don't. I've already watched them lose 2. I don't want to do it again. But shout out to Jimmy for just, like, talk about somebody who, like, knows publicly that people are just, like, shitting on him. Besides his looks. Obviously, he's very good looking. But like,
are people really shitting on him still?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think this year, I know they started off a little iffy.
No.
I don't get that sense.
People still are like, he's going to be the reason they're not in the Super Bowl. He's going to be the reason they lose. It's all him. Even after he's proven that he's been able to do this, get them to Super Bowls, whatever. It is such a conversation and it's exhausting, but also like all the offseason stuff. Like everybody wanted him traded. Nobody wanted him on their team. Nobody cared about him. So
he's the Jets quarterback next year.
It's going to be great. I mean, to be fair, like it's probably a better situation for him now in terms of getting traded and going to a place he wants to go and a good team that's going to pay him.
Oh my God, are you kidding? If he was a quarterback of the Jets,
and that's the thing,
they'd win the fucking division.
And that's the thing is like I'm super excited because I can't imagine like I would crumble if I were him. Like he's handled this in the most professional way you could possibly handle like a quarterback situation that he was dealt. That like if I'm any team and I'm seeing how consistent he's been the last couple of games. And hopefully moving forward, and then how he handled that entire situation, I'd want him on my team too.
Yeah, you'd want him on your team. Yeah, I know why you want him on your team. I'm just.
I would like to go on record to say that Jimmy Garoppolo is. I don't think I just couldn't. No.
No,
he's completely out of my league. Like I can own up to the fact. Like,
I think no. That's not the question. see. Let me give you a little insight on how guys talk. That's never the obstacle. Okay, right. It's not that. Of course, this gorgeous supermodel would want us, but the question is, would I want them? Right? You got to make this about you. You're not out Jimmy G's league. He's either your type or you're not, and that's the end of the conversation. Like,
I think he's very good looking, but yeah.
That's the end of it. Fair enough.
If you're asking me between Joe Burrow and Jimmy G, I would take Joe Burrow.
I didn't ask you that, but I'm kind of glad you brought it up because I would have if you didn't give me an answer. Joe Burrow, my quarterback on my fantasy team. I know everybody loves talking about fantasy. By the way, San Francisco, I almost said San Fran. I stopped myself. San Francisco's offense is like the closest thing to a college offense in the NFL. Awesome tight end from Iowa. Running back who does some crazy shit. You got a wide receiver who also plays running back. Like you've got gadget players all over the place, which are very much like, that is what I'm here for. So I'm in on the 49ers, by the way. They look really fucking good right now. In Arizona, where's Cliff Kingsbury going to be coaching next year?
The University of Alabama. I told you.
Yeah.
Offensive coordinator. I told Kristen, make that happen.
I think he's going to get yelled at. Like, Nick yelling at him. It's going to be great sideline optics. Like him looking all sad. Like, just yelling at this guy. He's like half his age. I'm in for that. Okay. Other random shit. World Cup. Yes.
Yes, let's talk about the World Cup. Are you at all watching? I know I'm the resident soccer fan, if you will. I don't know if I can.
Oh yeah, I love betting on this shit. Like,
I love. I was like, do you love watching? You're like, yes, I love betting on this. Yes.
I bet Ecuador the other day. I bet the U.S. That was shitty. Ugh.
Did you bet? Did you bet to? Was it like the one that you can take? That's.
I did money line, so it was a push for me.
Okay.
Ecuador, I bet to win. But I am watching it. It's fun. No, I like soccer. I don't love soccer. I like soccer. I want to get to. Oh, it's been awesome. Other than all the
grossness of everything of that.
Everything.
Have you watched? By the way, have you watched the FIFA documentary at all?
You know what? I was gonna watch it last night. in the hotel room of a indoor water park, and my kids just would not tolerate it.
Great
so that
transition.
would be tonight.
We are going to get to that indoor water park in a sec, but I need to tell you. So that documentary, I was watching it and I was like screaming at the television. I was so mad.
But the ratings. You got wine?
I have a delivery. Thank you so much. Say hi.
Oh, wow.
Say
Cheers. Hello. Hi there.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. This is great.
I got a fresh wine delivery. I texted our family group. I'm like, does anybody want to come live on the podcast and bring me wine? Look at that.
That was the greatest cameo and the only cameo other than your dog.
Other than my dog, who almost made a cameo on our live stream today, by the way.
I can't believe I haven't had a kid yet pop in here, which would be good.
Cheers.
By the way, hold on. I have a prop. Just give me a sec.
All right. While you're doing that, I'm going to tell the people I'm drinking a 52% Cab Sauv, 38 Toriga, 6% Tempranillo, and 4%
Yeah.
Oh my.
I didn't realize this was sitting next to me. Otherwise, I would have worn it the whole pod.
Wow.
I am wearing a legitimate turkey hat.
Did you get that at the water park?
No, I've had this thing for years. I used to do like golden tea.
Can you
videos.
lift your camera up so we can get the full like turkey leg?
Yeah. Well, maybe. Hold on.
There we go. Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
I've had this turkey hat for years.
This is a happy Thanksgiving. Get a cheers in here. Happy Thanksgiving,
Cheers.
everyone.
Yeah. So it's a
Please
turkey
watch
hat.
the video of this. He's wearing a turkey.
Barely
on his head.
fits my enormous head. So I did not get this at the water park, but I will talk about the water park. So we went to this Great Wolf Lodge, which is actually like a national brand of indoor water parks.
Okay.
And it's like 25 minutes. So 2 notes on this. A, like it was so strange driving to a hotel that's 25 minutes from our house.
You've never done
I
a
haven't done that
staycation before?
Well, not like that close. Like we'll go an hour, 2 hours, which was awesome. The second observation, kids were great. By the way, kids performed well. We had a not large hotel room, and everybody, it's always scary. Like, how's this going to go?
Mm-hmm.
It went well, but oh my God, like my credit card, I need to just like light it on fire. Like, everything. I bought lunch today. I had a Miller Lite with my lunch, which was the first and only beer I had in this 2-day water park extravaganza. I
Which is
deserve
surprising.
a medal for that. Yeah. Hard to get beer here. It was like 3 hot dogs, a hamburger, and 2 hamburgers and a beer, and it was like $74. So there was like 3 of those meals.
What in the world?
It was fucking crazy. They had like an arcade there. I spent like $200 on the arcade. Now that part of that's for me, right? Like I love me an arcade. But we had a good time. It's exhausting. My kids, I was worried that like after this, I haven't got any texts that they've been. Oh no, there is a text from my wife. Hold on. Cameron isn't sleeping.
Tell him to come on the pod. It's family. It's family appearance day on the podcast.
Yes.
So bring Cameron down, have him be on the pod.
By the way, I'm happy I didn't wear this turkey hat the whole time because it's fucking hot. Okay.
Your face is like a little rosy from it.
Yeah.
Okay. But
it's hot under here.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving, I know you love Thanksgiving. I particularly have a rant on it, but what can you share with the people about the meal that you were prepping? Because you do get involved in the cooking aspect. I
do. And it starts tomorrow morning, right? Tomorrow morning, which the pod will be out, right? This will be a pre-Thanksgiving pod. So it's not too late when you listen to this. Brine your birds. I will put my brine on my Twitter, Kegs and Eggs. Brown sugar and salt. Yeah. But brown sugar and salt and oranges, onions, garlic is really the key. Let that bird sit for 24 hours, or in this instance, 2 birds, and you're in a wonderful place. That's what I do. I want to do a dry brine, but I'm going to sit with the wet brine for now. I do it in the cooler, and that's it.
How long does it sit in that?
24 hours is like the sweet spot. Now, I fry my turkeys. We've had this discussion. Last year we did too. Why are you smiling?
Because I get my turkey from a store.
Did I get pissed at this last year?
Probably not. Look, I think it's more about we have certain things that we cook. So my grandpa's stuffing, we cook, and
Love stuffing.
but everything else, not really. We're more hors d'oeuvres and cocktail foods.
So I've got a question about the turkey you get from the store.
Yes.
Is it just normal, or you do anything weird? Like there's a barbecue place near me that does like a Cajun or a barbecue.
It's
turkey,
just like prepped, and then
smoked.
you just stick it in the oven. So it's got all the prep of whatever it needs to be on it. I don't know because I personally didn't order it, but it has like something on it that's already set up, whether it's like a rosemary or something like that.
But you actually cook it, so it's not cooked?
It's not cooked.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not cooked.
So that's...
And then sides we get, those are you just like...
So stuffing is stuffing your number one side?
Yes, I love stuffing. I honestly could go without everything else. I love stuffing.
I'm team stuffing too.
Yeah,
stuffing is a number one side.
We do like a sausage, mushrooms. It's so good. And then I love I hate the word moist, but it's a very like moist and like doughy. Because I know some stuffings can be like kind of crunchy because you use the sourdough, but it's like softer. So I really enjoy that. But I am doing something that I've never actually done before. So my brother, who we just met, Blake, and my cousin and I signed up for a turkey trot.
Oh, God.
So I'm running a 5K on the morning of Thanksgiving.
Good for you.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a 5K only family. I'm a 5K and mimosas after the 5K family. So it's not that bad, but it's just like kind of funny that I've made like jokes on the internet about like joining a 5K family, and then like I became a 5K family. Or a turkey trot family.
On that note, are you going to be hungover for your 5K? Because like I am hungover for Thanksgiving. So that will happen.
Here's the thing: is I don't live where I went to like high school and college, and so I think I would go out on like the Wednesday before if I lived in Arizona. But I live here and I see all my friends all the time, so we don't usually do like a Wednesday night thing. It's usually like prepping for everyone coming the next day, because as much as we're not big into cooking, although we do have a lot of, now that I think about it, we do have a lot of other like hors d'oeuvre things that we're making, like a brie bowl, all of this stuff on Wednesday. Nice. But like in terms of decoration and the vibe in the house, that's something that's like next level at my house. Like it's immaculate. The settings are perfect. Everything is done, and it's done ahead of time. So Wednesday is like a prep day.
See, tomorrow night, my childhood friend and I, as has been tradition for about 18 years, we go out. We don't get hammered anymore. We can't do that. We can't. Well, like,
sure.
We go where the night. We go out early now because I want to be prepared. Thanksgiving's a long fucking day. Frying 2 turkeys is a long day.
See, and that's the thing is like I don't even have to help. Like I'll help cook.
No, all you got to do is run a 5K. You can be hungover for that.
I run a 5K. I sit and drink and watch football. I love watching football on Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is great. Oh, and the game. Well, no, I don't think the games are that great, but it doesn't matter.
The Egg Bowl. How dare you?
Oh no. So, oh God, I have not done very well betting the Egg Bowl. In fact, the Elijah Moore dog piss situation cost me many hundreds of dollars. That was a very bad dog piss situation. I bet Mississippi State last year. Do you have an Egg Bowl lead? I kind of like Mississippi State again because I think Ole Miss is like, Lane's gone.
Bye, we're out.
Well, it's supposed to rain there too, by the way, and the under went from like 64.5 to like in the 50s now. So, yeah, not great.
Not great. Do you do any Black Friday shopping?
No, I used to, and I've got to get online. I'm looking maybe to buy a new TV. Actually, I'm looking for a new TV and I'm looking for a new couch.
Okay.
That's upgrading my football watch.
Wayfair is having their Black Friday sale now. I'm like, in terms of like Cyber Monday, Black Friday, I'll do all of it online. You won't catch me anywhere on actual Black Friday. Like, no chance. But online, if you need some help, like I said.
Okay. I could use it. I'm looking to upgrade. Sales start early.
TVs. Also, pro tip: the Tuesday after Cyber Monday is the best day for travel deals. So, just a heads up to everybody.
I still have to book for the title game. I gotta do
flight.
that. Literally. All right, do we have any other random shit?
No.
This is a perfectly sort of off the wall, but on the wall.
Camera was better so I could take a picture of you with that turkey head on.
Do I still look like
you're
shit?
Great. You were fine and literally until the very end just now.
Hold on.
It's grainy. Hold on. Can you get a good picture? I need you with the turkey head though. I like how this is still live and we're still doing the podcast.
Fuck it. Yeah, it's for content.
Oh, it looks kind of better from afar, but you look a little...
Gobble gobble?
Hold on.
That's a GIF right there.
I'm sure Jason will take it and...
Yeah, this is... It's good for content.
It's great for content. Making a live video.
Oh, shit, I still have to write tonight. God damn.
All right, well, should we end the podcast on that then?
I suppose that's a good place to end. All right, everybody, have a wonderful Thanksgiving. It's the best holiday that we have. Enjoy the games. I hope you beat the shit out of your rival. Whoever the hell that rival is. They suck. They're terrible. They should stop disrespecting you. For Paige, I'm Adam. Cheers.